Wow, what a beautiful view, right? Hi, this is James from Mad River Homestead here in Southwest Ohio. And today I'm going to show you something that maybe you've used before, maybe you never have, maybe you've used it and not as effectively as you might have. I'm sure if you garden and you have leaves available on your property, you're already using them in some way. But let me show you what I've been doing for the last couple of years and that has proven to be very, very effective. This is a leaf mold. The way you make a leaf mold, you can simply take all these leaves like this and just put them in a big huge pile. Wet them down, keep them damp, and about 1.5 years later, you're gonna have a leaf mold. And this is how pretty this is. Smells absolutely wonderful. Like some of the richest dirt you could ever find. And there's absolutely no maintenance either. I have not touched either one of these piles of leaves since last fall, about, like I said, 1 year ago. That's with one caveat. You do want them to stay kind of damp, so you'll want to kind of wet it down every once in a while if you're not getting much rain. We got so much rain in the spring that it made it very, very damp. It was soggy at one point, but now it's just, like I said, kind of cool and damp, and I haven't added any water to these. Now, leaf molds don't provide a substantial amount of nutrients like phosphorus, nitrogen, those kind of things, but they do provide some nutrients, and they provide some support for things like some of your microorganisms, worms, things like that. The leaf mold will provide some support for that. It's kind of like adding peat moss to your soil, so you can use it to amend your soil in the fall. That's one of the uses for it. I personally like to kind of work it into the soil myself, but I also like to use it as a mulch right around my plants because it does help to hold the moisture in as well. Now, it doesn't necessarily take 1.5 years to 2 years to do a leaf mold. You can do it a lot quicker. This right here is out of that leaf mold that I just showed you. It's not dirty either. That's amazing to me. I started that leaf mold 1 year ago. Last fall's leaves is what went in that. Now I have expanded my operation a little bit since the first year I did it. The first year I used this piece of fencing. It's 2 feet high and it's probably about 3 feet across. Last year I added this one. Now this one's 4 feet high and I'd say it's about 4.5 to 5 feet across as well. And it's really amazing. I actually had this thing heaped up about this high over the top of this. And it sank that much because of all the decomposition. Now the top layer's kind of dry, but you get down in there and it's nice, damp. You can't wring water out of it, but it's nice and damp. And it'll be a good addition to the garden. Now the first year I did this with that smaller leaf mold, I used a chipper shredder and that worked great. It's just that I'm 62 years old now and you constantly have to bend over, pick up the leaves, put them in, bend over, pick up the leaves, put them in. And it takes a long time, but it is very effective. You could also run over the leaves with a lawnmower. If you have a big mower, you'd want a big collection bag. Now this is the leaf mold that I'll be using this year for this year's leaves. It is quite a bit bigger than either of the other two. It's 4 feet high and it's about 8 to 9 feet across. I didn't measure it, but that's just what my guesstimation would be. And believe me, I have plenty of leaves. That opening shot, you would think that we hadn't had any leaves falling yet. Quite the contrary. We already have a lot of leaves on the ground. Now last year, in an effort to speed things up so that I didn't have piles of leaves still hanging around when springtime came, because I ran out of time before the winter set in, I added this piece of machinery, and I will tell you, I could not speak higher of it than I do. It is an absolute beast. It's called the AgriFab Lawn Vacuum. Now I have a video where I used this for the first time last year, so I'll link that at the end of this video if you want to take a look at it. But it's got this long hose that comes from the mower So the leaves are going through the mower blades, then they go through this hose, and then this has another mulcher on it before it sends them into the big box. And that thing holds 32 cubic feet. Now we have enough leaves here, I could probably fill 50 of those baskets, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna just fill the one for this year. I will process all of the leaves that fall in my yard. But what I'll do with the rest of them is, well, I do have to give some to my mom. Besides that though, what I'll do with the rest of them is I'll add about 6 to 8 inches of those leaves all through our garden. It'll cover everything, even in the raised beds. I'll fill them up as full as I can get them. So then in the spring, when we go to plant, all we have to do is just move the leaves apart a little bit. That dirt is so nice and soft underneath, it's very easy to dig into. We'll just put our plants in, put the mulch back around them, and we'll be good to go. I think that might be one of the reasons that it's almost the 1st of October here in Southwest Ohio, and we're still reaping bounty from our garden. It's been absolutely on fire this year and still going strong. So if you are fortunate enough to have access to leaves, if you have trees on your property, or if you know other people, don't be embarrassed. My mom asks people for their leaves all the time. She walks around her neighborhood, and when they have piles of leaves, she'll fill up a bag of them. So whatever you can do to get these, it's just going to help your garden, whether you use it as a mulch, whether you use it as a soil amendment. You can also use leaf mold to start seeds in the spring if you like to start your own seeds. There are quite a few different ways that you can use this leaf mold, and it's so easy to do. If you have some old scrap fence around, make you a circle, fill it up. Well, I hope this video has been helpful and that it could be some use to you. If you know somebody that does gardening, please share it with them. It's something that maybe they haven't discovered themselves, and it could be a really, really big help to them as well. So thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and God bless you and your family.